So here we have another set that says Saral, a clothes manufacturer, has a manufacturing plant. He is also a mathematics lover and hence has created some equations to calculate his cost and profit as per the number of items produced. The cost of his items follows a linear equation, that is 2000 plus 75x, where x is the number of items manufactured. However, the profit earned by him follows a quadratic equation, that is x square minus 20x plus 3600, where x is again the number of items manufactured. Also, the maximum possible capacity of the plant is 220. The profit is calculated by subtracting the cost from the revenue and assume that every item manufactured is also sold. And this is the only data for this set. After that, he has asked you some questions, right? That means it requires some knowledge of algebra as well. So first of all, what all things are there? The cost is there, which is given as 2000 plus 75x. The profit is given to us in the form of a quadratic equation, that is x square minus 20x plus 3600. Also, he says that x is always less than equal to 220. Now, about revenue, he says profit is calculated by subtracting cost from revenue. Profit is revenue minus cost, or I can say revenue is equal to profit plus cost. So, if I say what is the revenue equation, it is profit plus cost, just add them, x square minus 20x plus 75x is plus 55x and 3600 plus 2000 is 5600. These are all the equations that I have to use to answer all of these questions. Let's have a look at the questions now one by one. Straight away we'll be using this information there. I've already written them for your reference. What is the minimum profit that Saral will earn? That means I have to minimize the quadratic equation. A quadratic equation is minimized at minus b by 2a, right? It is minimized at minus b by 2a, and the minimum value is given by minus d by 4a, where d is discriminant. So either straight away calculate minus d by 4a, that is your answer, or you can calculate minus b by 2a and put it into the equation. So what is minus b by 2a? It is minus of minus 20 divided by 2 into 1, because b is minus 20, a is 1. This gives me 10. And if I put 10 over here, the value of the profit will come out to be 10 square, that is 100, minus 20 into 10, that is 200, plus 3600, and 3700 minus 200, 3500 is the minimum profit that Saral will earn. So answer for this question is 3500. That is there now. Let's move ahead now to question number 17. What does it say? The revenue keeps increasing if x is greater than what? Right? Revenue keeps increasing if x is greater than what? Now, revenue is x square plus 55x plus 5600. Point is, when would it keep increasing? That means there is a quadratic function, and when would the quadratic function keeps increasing? If you look at the graph of a quadratic function, it keeps increasing after this value, which is the value at minima, that is at minus b by 2a, after which it keeps increasing. But here one thing is very clear. I mean, logically also I can say so, though of course if you calculate minus b by 2 is minus 55 by 2. So whenever value of x is above minus 27.5, it will keep increasing. And of course x is always positive. So it will always be increasing. I can straight away say D is my answer. Because above minus 27.5 it is going to increase, and it is anyways always greater than minus 27.5. Anyways, if I see x is always a positive number, if x is positive, x square is definitely positive. 55x is positive, this is also positive. When all three are positive, as and when you would increase x, of course the values will keep on increasing. It does not even require any kind of graph or something. You can straight away say my answer is going to be D, that it is always going to increase. So D option is the correct answer for this question. Now this next question says, for which of the following values of x is the profit per unit maximum? Now what is profit per unit? If I divide them by x, it will be profit per unit. I have the profit, x is the number of units divided by x. This gives me x minus 20 plus 3600 divided by x. So when would this be maximized? Though of course I can solve it for x plus 3600 by x, and I can calculate for what values of x it will be maximized, right? Or I can straight away go by the options as well. Let's check options one by one. Option A, let's put 20. So 20 minus 20 plus 3600 divided by 20, this gives me 180. Let's put 50 now. 50 minus 20 plus 3600 divided by 50. This gives me 30 plus 72, that is 102. Let's look at C option. 100 minus 20 plus 3600 divided by 100. This is 80 plus 36, 116. And in option D, it is 200 minus 20 plus 3600 divided by 200. So I can say it is 180 plus 18, that is equal to 198. That means this is the largest one. So therefore my answer is option D, that profit per unit will be maximum when the number of units is 200. In that case, profit per unit will come out to be 198. Now this question says that the cost equation changes to k plus 75x, then what should be the maximum value of k such that profit is always greater than cost? So I want the profit to be greater than cost. Profit is x square minus 20x plus 3600. It should be greater than cost, and cost is k plus 75x, right? Yes, change the cost equation. That means x square minus 95x plus 3600 minus k should be greater than 0. A quadratic will always be greater than 0 only if it does not even touch the x-axis. That means when your discriminant is less than 0. So if the discriminant is less than 0, it will always be greater than 0. What is discriminant? B square minus 4 into a into c. It should be less than 0. Only in that case it would always be positive. 95 square is 9025 minus 14400 plus 4k should be less than 0, or 4k should be less than, how much is that? 14400 minus 9025, it is, I think, 5375. That means k should be less than 4 1s are 4, 4 3s are 12, 4 4s are 16 and 4 3s are 12.75. K should be less than 1343.75. Question is saying what is the maximum possible value of k? Of course, k has to be an integer. So if k is an integer, the maximum possible value of k that can be there is 1343. That is our answer for this question, which is given over here. 1343 is the right answer. I think it should have been written over here that k should be an integer. Possibly that is missing over here. And this brings us to the last question of this set. If the profit for k plus 1 units is less than profit for k units, what is the maximum value of k? See, the graph of profit is a quadratic function, something like this. He says profit for k plus 1 units is less than the profit for k. That means profit is decreasing, right? For k plus 1 units, the profit is lesser than that of k. So profit is decreasing. So here I see the profit is decreasing, here it is decreasing, here it is decreasing. For all these values, it keeps decreasing. Finally, it decreases at this stage and then it starts increasing. So the point at which it is minimum, that point we have already calculated as 10. If you remember in the first question we did it, it is minus b by 2a, that is equal to 10. At 10, the profit decreases for the last time. That means the profit for 10 units is lower than the profit for 9 units, right? But profit for 11 units would be higher than that for 10 units. So 10 is the last time it has decreased. So 10 is the value of k plus 1, that means 9 is the value of k. So for value of k as 9, the profit has decreased for one last time. That's the maximum possible value of k. And I'm sure, again, if your mathematical concepts are in place, this set would have been very easy for you. But somehow algebra is something not a cup of tea for many of us. So therefore you might have found it a slightly difficult question. Otherwise, it was an easy set.